and it's the first time we can say it this year, a Football Friday. The Eagles, the Packers tonight in Brazil. Look, it's a big deal, guys. It's week one. It's the Birds. They're back. It's really big stakes this season for Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Obviously, all eyes tonight on all of it. Of course, last night, a game down to the wire, and I mean down to the wire. KC and Baltimore, we'll get into that. KC wins. Phils, they win again. They're now tied with the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. So the surge is real. All of it with you today. Primarily the Birds. On a game day at 215-592-9494. Richie Rich, how are you, pal?
Hello there, Joe.
Hello there, Johnny.
Babies their eyes don't produce tears until about 6 or 8 weeks old. Babies' eyes don't produce tears until that baby is 6 to 8 weeks
interesting.
old.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Last year we cried at the end of the season. 2017, we cried. Well, you didn't, John, but I did in a different way at the end of the season. All right.
That meant everything to me. To the phones. 888. I'm sorry to cry. I'm just very emotional.
Let's crank it up, guys. All right. Seltzer, you're freaking fired up. I know you are, right?
Of course, man. The Eagles are playing tonight. Yes.
Rhea, did we wait 7 months or 7 years for this? It felt like a long time.
It felt like a long time, but I am the only one who's actually wearing an Eagles T-shirt.
I'm impressed.
How fired up are the rest of you?
I honestly woke up this morning and then I just was like, oh, work day. And then it's like, oh, my God, the Eagles are playing.
Eagles. And you know what Devin says? Eee!
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. It's true. I will never attempt an Eagles chant again in my life.
I need that on the drop board. Wechter, I need Devin's E on the drop board. That was an unbelievable
has an
moment.
Eagles shirt on.
All right, let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. It is a big frickin' day. Now, couple different ways to attack this here. Obviously, we want to hear from you at 215-592-9494 on this, an Eagles game day for the first time since January. Few things really primarily. Your sense of excitement and anticipation. Come to us with the energy. Your sense of what kind of squad we got this year. What do you think? Elite or not? I mean, pretty much everybody, although not ESPN, but just about everyone else is picking, including us, picking the Eagles to make the playoffs. All right, playoffs is great. They made the playoffs last year and were out quick. Are they elite? They typically are not. Sometimes they are. They were in 22. They were in 17. Are they elite? And then the third main thing today, and let's really start with this at 215-592-9494. What specifically, who specifically you want to see tonight that you're keying in on? Now let me start right there. I think I speak for like 5 trillion people when I say, obviously, the biggest thing tonight, other than trying to get the W, is Jalen Hurts in the new offense. Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore, the collaboration, John Ritchie, these two guys, it's different, man. It ain't Sirianni. It better not be the Hurts of last year. We know they're trying to rework it. We didn't get to see it in the preseason. He didn't play in the games. So what does it look like? Is he better in the pocket? Are the plays different? Is it still a lot of read option? Do they not do as much of that because they don't want him to run as much? And they're Saquon Barkley, his incorporation in this offense. John, what is top of mind for you? I mean, that's a big one, obviously. That or something else. Any part, team, player, concept. John, what hits you right out of the gate?
The things, I got a list here. The things I want to see, I expect to see in 2024. I expect to see many people worrying far too much about our pass protection right out the gates. I expect the Packers to be lighting us up with blitzes. And that's a big reason why everyone's going to be concerned with our pass protection right out the gates. These Packers will light us up with blitzes, especially on those passing downs. And this Halfley guy or Halfley or whatever his name is, the defensive coordinator, is he's going to bring it until we pick it up. And I expect to see Jalen Hurts calmly pointing out the mic and communicating protection calls to this O-line. I expect to see hots and sight adjustments that we did not see last year.
That's right.
Hots and sight adjustments where the Eagles receivers change the route. They break the route off because the Packers bring a blitz. And they're on the same exact page with Jalen Hurts. They see that blitz coming. They get their head around quick. Jalen sees it too. Bang. Hits him with the pass. We live to run another play, get a first down.
Matriculate the ball down the field. In the words of Hank Strand, get the ball down the field.
I expect to see Jalen stepping up into a pocket, which we did not see last year.
That was pretty rough.
Step up into a pocket of protection and completing passes downfield. Last year, it was roll, right and left.
Yeah.
And I also expect to see Jalen completing short underneath stuff. I expect if Packers drop to zones, Saquon will strip flesh cleanly from their bones. You try to run zone, Saquon will destroy you, man. Check down. This is a guy, you check it down to Saquon at our -5 yard line, and he might be hitting his head on the other goalpost.
Can I just
95 yards, baby.
I just got to say, so Devin and I just looked at each other because, John, I'm on the football
We both
mode.
just did a double take
and all
on
of a
that.
sudden, I heard a phrase, strip flesh from the bone.
Joe and I at the exact moment both looked up and locked eyes like, what?
I think John's fired up as well.
Oh, yeah.
John is
John
ready.
Ritchie is
Just
fired
a
up,
little.
ladies
I
and
love
gentlemen.
We got more.
We got to
got
get
more.
John on a plane to
Saquon.
Brazil to suit up tonight.
All right, keep
Saquon.
going, John. Keep it going.
Running free for first downs.
Yep.
I expect Saquon Barkley breaking tackles for touchdowns. He can score a touchdown from anywhere on the field, guys. We're not really used to that. And I want to remind you, we have seen it on occasion with Miles Sanders through the years. Saquon can just go score in a hurry. Big play,
Right.
big play.
Yeah.
Because he still does have that speed. His speed remains. I expect Saquon is going to be such a pleasure to watch and fleet-footed. And Saquon and Jalen, they make that defense afraid. They will hold the backside and the front side for one another. And then I expect Kellen Moore to be killing folks with Johnny Wilson. We don't know Johnny Wilson very well yet. We know that he was a wide receiver in college and a giant wide receiver. This guy's 6'7", 235. I don't know this for sure because we haven't seen anything really with our eyes yet. But the fact that we are so short tight ends, and it's just such an obvious skill that this guy has, destroying people in the run game, latching on, and being a great, aggressive run blocker. I think he's going to become the new tight end. The second tight end in the West Coast offense. The first tight end is called the Y. Mm-hmm. The second tight end is the U. And Johnny Wilson, I think, even though he's a wide receiver, I think he becomes the U.
Well, look,
this season.
We'll see. I mean, I wonder if that guy will even play tonight, but we'll see. But look, there's so much about this game and this coming season to hit here today. Let me say this: if number one, and I think for probably everyone, it's everything to do with the offense as it relates to Hurts, Kellen Moore, and blitz pickup. Okay, I think we all know that. To me, number two is the Eagles' pass rush, highlighted or not highlighted tonight based on what he puts out there by Bryce Huff. That's the guy other than Hurts I am most fascinated to watch. I mean, obviously we saw an Eagles-Jets game last year. When we watched that game, I don't think anyone was thinking about Bryce Huff. I mean, I never heard of the guy before. Next thing you know, he gets $50 million from Howie Roseman to replace Hassan Reddick. What has this guy got? I don't know. So tonight we get to find out at a critically important position, a position called go get the other team's quarterback. That's the position. Go get the other team's quarterback.
That's a little wordy.
Yeah, it's a little wordy. What does this guy have? So that will be fascinating. Obviously, you want to see Josh Sweat step up. It is time for him to do a little bit more. Doesn't have to do a ton more because he's been pretty good, but he's certainly got to do more now that Reddick is gone, that Fletcher is gone. So, look, there's a lot there. There is the revamped secondary, which, by the way, will not have Isaiah Rodgers tonight, who has been ruled out for the game. So now you have someone else that's going to play a pretty good amount that as of 2 or 3 days ago, they weren't planning to have play a pretty good amount. Who will that person be? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. We know it's not Bradbury. A lot of people think it shouldn't be Cooper DeJean yet. So they got to figure that out. And then, of course, Jalen Carter. You just want to see this guy be a game wrecker. You know, here's the way I'll put it on Jalen Carter. And I don't mean to put this too down the line, but I think he's got it in him to be this, so I'm going to say it. Here's what I want from Jalen Carter. Jerome Brown, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. What's my point? My point is interior dominance, which is rare, but when you get it, special in pro football. And the Eagles have had 2 of them in the last 40 years. Now, Reggie would slide inside, but primarily outside. You know what I mean? I mean, those of us that saw Jerome play, we know the impact. Those of us, and it's all of us that saw Fletcher play, we absolutely know the impact. I mean, they won a Super Bowl, and he was one of their best players for a long time. Jalen Carter has... Listen, I wouldn't put that on him if he didn't have it. I wasn't asking Nick Williams, when he was an outfielder for the Phillies, to be frickin', I don't know, Mike Schmidt or pick an outfielder, Richie Ashburn. But Jalen Carter's got mad skills. And I want to see this guy be a game wrecker tonight, the whole season, and for the next 10-plus years. There is a lot to digest. Look, we'll talk about it all at 215-592-9494. We ask you, what are you keying in on tonight? Who and what about this game and this team? Also, what kind of squad do we have? Is it an elite team? And, obviously, on a game day, your excitement. Bring the fire. Joe DeCamera, John Ritchie. Big day. Game day. By the way, we broadcast today not at Borgata where we normally are, but typically our home base on Fridays. Wonderful to be here with you on 94
You feel
WIP.
fired up, Joe? You got the adrenaline flowing?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for that. That's actually kind of amazing. I can't be mad about it.
Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie on WIP.